Hello, my friends. So, today I want to share my ideas with you on whether it really matters that what we call matter is not matter, and whether it really matters if everyday reality is an illusion. I think it does, and I'll explore this with you. But before I do that, I want to share with you something that cropped up on my Google alert, which I think you'll find amusing and also um, perhaps uh, interesting. So, this is a news item that I picked up. It says Rationalist seeks action on Deepak Chopra for endorsing midbrain activation scam. Author and Dr. Deepak Chopra shared a video that claimed that a couple of teens were able to see while blindfolded, a controversial pseudoscientific claim that has been debunked many times. Noted rationalist Narendra Nayak has written to the American Medical Association, AMA, asking them to initiate action against author and medical doctor Deepak Chopra for promoting quackery by endorsing the midbrain activation scam. Narendra Nayak, who is president of the Federation of Indian Rationalist Associations, has pointed to a video published by Deepak Chopra on his social media handles in which he's seen interacting with two blindfolded teens. In the video, Deepak Chopra makes a few gestures which the first teen imitates while blindfolded. He is later seen writing some text on a notepad, and it is shown that the second teen is supposedly able to read it while blindfolded. I wanted to share this beautiful video demonstrating the extraordinary capabilities of the students of Brighter Minds, a special institution and cognitive development program at Kanha Shanit Vanam, Deepak Chopra said. Narendra Nayak, who has been working against this technique, how do you work against a technique, which used to be called midbrain activation, has asked AMA to question Deepak Chopra for the unethical conduct. Okay, so, and it goes on and on. So, first of all, I find it very amusing that this guy Nayak and his associates have self-appointed themselves as vigilantes for the suppression of curiosity. The fact is, I did see blindfolded people that were able to see and that were able to imitate gestures from a distance, and also that were able to read. Now, I also believe that there's an explanation for everything if you look deeply into it. And the simplest explanation for this ability is what is well known as synesthesia, where one sense can actually possess qualities that are usually associated with another sense. So seeing is usually associated with the optic apparatus, which of course is derived from the neuroectoderm, as is the skin, as is the olfactory apparatus. So I know many synesthetes, and they're actually have these abilities to once and experience a perceptual mechanism, the same experience. So you can hear colors and smell tastes and see things with other aspects of the neuroectoderm. In any case, whatever this ability is, it's worth exploring. Okay, and rationality is, of course, a very good word for a species-specific observed event in consciousness. What we call empirical facts are actually species-specific space-time events in consciousness. I don't expect Narendra Nayak to perhaps fully understand this, but I wish him good luck in his campaign to convince everyone that rational thought is the only way to understand reality. There's intuition, which is a form of intelligence that is contextual, relational, holistic, and doesn't rely on empirical facts, but is a deeper understanding. And then there's creativity, there's higher consciousness, there's transcendence. Rationality is one mode of knowing. So good luck, Mr. Narendra Nayak, in your campaign to censure me, and I look forward to any more interesting insights from you as well. I just wanted to mention that because today I wanted to discuss with you something very important. Is there, and this is actually to do, it triggered, this news item triggered a little bit of this thinking. Is matter material, or is matter a human construct for perceptual activity that we call the mind? Because we don't actually experience a substance called matter. We experience our own perceptual and cognitive activities, which are modified forms of consciousness as mind, intellect, ego, feelings, thoughts, images, sensations, sense perceptions, ideas, and so on. And therefore, what we call matter, physical matter, is a combination of you might even say an alchemy of different sensations given a word called matter, the combination. So I can, take this, you can call it a stand for my iPhone, and it's material, but actually my mode of understanding this is sensations, touch, sound, taste, smell, and this alchemy of sensations, sound, touch, sight, taste, and smell, in a particular combination, is the construct matter. And so is this a construct, matter. A construct is mental. So everything that we call the physical world is actually a mental projection. That's all it is. And furthermore, by the time you experience a material object, it doesn't actually exist. There's a little lag between your perceptual recognition and the experience, a perceptual lag. So by the time I hear something, by the time you hear my words, they don't exist. And by the time you perceive something, that which you perceive, that activity has already moved on. Is now slightly different. Of course, if I look at this, look elsewhere, look at this, looks the same. But over time, this is subject to laws of entropy and change, and everything changes. Everything that you experience changes. So everything that you experience changes, and is changing all the time, ceaselessly. And that's why it's an illusion. It doesn't matter that what you see is the illusion from a microsecond ago, or what you see as a star or a galaxy is an illusion from millions of years, light years ago, or a billion light years. Whatever you experience has already happened. Therefore, it's a dream. It's a dream. It's an illusion, and it's a mind. It's the changing mind. Now, is this is knowing this, that everyday reality is an illusion, that matter is not material, that we are the creators of both what we call mind, matter, physical body, and the universe, how does it matter if you're embedded in an illusion is real? Okay, so from that perspective, even if it's an illusion, it's a magical trick, whatever, if you're experiencing it, and then for you it's real. Just like when I was experiencing last night's dream, it was real. Only when I woke up this morning, it was not so real. Okay, so first of all, is this good? If you were God and you were to design the universe, would you design it this way? And I think I would, because who wants to be stuck in the same body, same mind, same personality for eternity? It's good that evolution guarantees that we evolve in mind, we evolve in consciousness, and we evolve in the experience of what we call the physical world. Otherwise, reality would be a frozen anatomical structure, which it isn't. Even though that model is also used, that objects are frozen anatomical structures, that even the physical body is an anatomical structure. So that would be very limiting, right? If your mind didn't evolve, if your personality didn't evolve, if your emotions didn't evolve, if your body didn't evolve, and you'd be stuck then with a baby's body or an adolescent body or a young adult body or an old adult. In fact, the totality of the scheme of creation is so exquisitely beautiful that there's no other way anyone would want to design it. The way the universe is structured as a perceptual cognitive activity in consciousness, where our body and mind and the world all go together, so that we all are experiencing each other as real, and yet we are dream characters, fictional characters in a collective dreamscape. What is the advantage of knowing this? The advantage of knowing this is that when you reflect, when you meditate, when you ask yourself questions, when you engage in introspection, then who or what is having that internal dialogue? Are atoms and molecules and force fields and genes and neural networks actually creating this experience, or are they recording this experience? Because there's a big difference. If they're creating this experience, then everything in this dreamscape is impermanent, temporary, and whatever is born dies. That's our experience, right? But if we take that as the real reality, then we are left with conundrums. What is the difference between reality and illusion? Why do we grasp and cling at an experience that is ephemeral, transient, impermanent? Why do we also recoil from this experience? Why does mistaking ourselves for our self-image create so much anxiety? And then there is, of course, the fear of death. All comes from confusing illusion with reality. If reality is not physical, if reality is not even mental, if reality is timeless, irreducible, fundamental, spaceless, infinite, and formless, and if you're that, then that gives you the freedom to not only wake up from the illusion, but actually enjoy the illusion, upgrade the illusion, and never mind the criticisms of Narendra Nayak or so-called rationalists who have bamboozled themselves with the idea of matter as the ontological primitive. Then all is entertainment, all is play, and all is creativity. And there's nothing more enjoyable than play. That's what children do. They play. There's a beautiful poem of Tagore. Well, wars are going on and people are engaging in strife and arguments and all these silly things that we do in the name of being human and rational, then we have lost the essential point of existence, which is play, curiosity, wonder, and questioning what we call everyday reality. Only by that questioning and going deeper beyond the rational world can we explore our potentials. And these potentials are non local potentials. I saw these kids doing extraordinary things, and I'm not going to dismiss it. I'm going to find out what is happening in the deeper domains. And if these kids have these non local dormant potentials, I want to know. And I want to experience them. And I want to explore them. And whatever the outcome is, that is true skepticism. But it is not cynicism. This guy, Narendra Naik, is a self-appointed vigilante, I think, for the suppression of curiosity in the name of rationality, and is stuck with an old-fashioned, outdated, materialist idea of what is rational and what is not. But there's a place for people like him as well, because unless we engage in these conversations with open-minded skepticism, not cynicism, then there will be no progress. So my goal at this time in my life is to question everything, question the idea of physical existence, question the idea of mortality based on false constructs, question whether the world is mental, physical, or neither. The world ultimately is awareness. And therefore, the world is spiritual, however you frame it. And that spirit, that consciousness, that awareness, for that, there are no reasons. There's no reason for existence. There's no reason for awareness of existence. But once we start engaging with our awareness of existence, it is very liberating, because ultimately these ideas and these explorations beyond systems of thought actually allow us to explore the real reality, without which the perceptual reality would not be an experience. So, by knowing the world of illusion, we can actually not only upgrade the illusion, including the quality of the illusion of the body-mind, but we can also go beyond constructs like permanence, the physical world, and know ourselves as timeless, immortal, eternal, non-physical, and even non-mental beings. Consciousness knowing itself as the world of objects, relationships, me, the other, and the total universe. Aham Brahmasmi. Give me some feedback on this, including Mr. Narendra Naik and his latest attempt to report me to the American Medical Association. Okay, my friends, bye.